Chris Hemsworth says that having children is the biggest challenge he's ever faced. By the age of 31, he was already a father of 3, right at the same time he started getting big in Hollywood. So it's been hard for Chris to find a balance between being an A-lister and a father. He felt like he just couldn't take a break from acting. And it wasn't because of his ambitions, a childhood fear drove him.
I'd been chasing something for 10 years, the dream scenario.
For a while, Chris thought that he was the only one suffering, as his little kids didn't notice his absence. He believed that having their mother around at all times was enough. But he was wrong.
You think they're not paying attention, but they do, You have a close look and they kind of look up and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you're busy, it's work again, and that breaks my heart.
The actor often had to work extra hours on set and he felt guilty about it. He missed out on spending precious moments with his kids. As soon as he returned home, he'd have to leave again.
And I come, back over on this press tour, and my daughter looks at me and she's like, but you just got back. And no matter how many times you do it or how used to you leaving you think they are, it's not, it's hard.
Sometimes, Chris couldn't help but question what his life would be like if he didn't have kids, especially as he became a dad quite young. Hemsworth met Spanish actress Elsa Pataky in 2010 and they got married that same year. Within only 4 years, they already had 3 kids, a daughter and twin sons. It seems like Chris wasn't ready to have multiple children so fast, and the timing was really challenging, as he was becoming a more and more sought-after actor.
It's so easy to kind of blur the line between the business and home and personal life and work. That was the danger, when I put too much emphasis on it working or this being a success or getting that part or whatever.
Allegedly, Chris struggled with finding balance so much that it almost ruined his marriage. According to a rumor, the actor wasn't happy that Elsa had given birth to their 3 kids so soon. There was even a suggestion that they were living separately back in 2016. And when Elsa went on a trip to Spain with the kids, but without Chris, tabloids said that their marriage was hanging by a thread. What's more, the actress then showed up in public without her wedding ring. People assumed they were headed for a split. Although both Elsa and Chris debunked that rumor almost immediately, the media couldn't let it go. Another report suggested that Elsa was unhappy because she had to take a break from her career. And while she stayed at home with the kids, Chris got to travel all over the world. Also, the actress reportedly became concerned about her husband's gorgeous female co-stars and ever-growing army of lady fans. But, in fact, Hemsworth was just doing his best at work and couldn't take a break like Elsa could. Of course, being an actor was his dream, but something else fueled his increasing workload. It was a fear rooted in his childhood. The actor was afraid that if he didn't take one project after another, his career would end as quickly as it began. Chris couldn't stand the thought of that because he'd always felt a responsibility to be a breadwinner. When he was a kid, his parents struggled financially, and that's what made him want to get into acting.
One of the biggest drives was to pay off my parents' house and take care of, my family. We didn't have a lot of money growing up.
He was sure that only if he became an actor and earned a lot could his family be happy. It was the main reason for his frantic work pace that wouldn't slow down for years. And when Chris became a father, running at full speed began to take its toll, because the new responsibilities added up. But even being crazy famous and making more than enough money, he couldn't stop. After all, old habits are hard to break. Chris kept on struggling for years, until one day it dawned on him that he didn't want to miss out on important milestones anymore.
I thought, man, if I don't stop and just appreciate this moment, I'll continue to chase and look there, not right here, for the rest of my life.
However, Chris only managed to really slow down when the pandemic began. He enjoyed spending more time than ever with his family. The kids even asked their parents to spend less time on their cell phones. And Chris did something that he never thought he'd do.
My daughter and my nieces painted everybody's nails, so I actually had my nails painted as well.
And when the quarantine ended and he got back to work, the actor was finally ready to do everything differently.
Man, I just had 5 months at home with him, but that last minute wasn't used up really, taking it in.
Of course, it wasn't easy to get rid of the habit to keep going. Sometimes Chris was still anxious that it was all going to slip away. But with his wife's support, he learned to set new priorities. Besides, his children taught him about real love and true responsibility. Thanks to them, the actor now knows how to stay focused on what's essential. Eventually, Chris managed to adapt to his new lifestyle. First and foremost, he now thinks about his family and puts his career second. When he chooses new roles, the actor makes sure that he'll have enough time to spend at home. Chris is proud of what he's achieved so far in terms of his career, but he's also learning to sit back and relax.
You know, it's nice not to spend all your time thinking about all your own problems and garbage up there, you know, and it's just, I have so much fun doing it, you know, it's the best.
And the fact that he can now take time away from work allows Elsa to get back to her career. They now have a deal that when one of them is away working, the other has to stay at home. The spouses are still blissfully happy together after more than 11 years of marriage. They moved to Australia to help their children live a simpler life, close to nature and away from the paparazzi. They spend a lot of time as a family.
They're all very active kids and big, vivid imaginations, and, you know, so do I. And so we get outside and explore and you play whatever we want. This is, you know, what it's about.
Even when Chris is back on set, he tries to keep his family around. Elsa and all of the kids had small cameos in his latest Thor movie. The actor's little girl, India Rose, got the biggest role of them all as Love, Gore's daughter.
And she did a great job, incredibly proud.
The main thing Chris wants is to just be with his kids as often as possible.
My dream would be for them to talk about me as a parent one day and go, he was always there, he played with us, he was present, he listened, he paid attention, you know.
So now, Chris's most cherished role is being a father. And some of his colleagues confirm that he's the best at it.
I'm telling you, his superpower is parenting. I have never seen anything like it.
And parenting allowed Chris to be happier than ever.